Okay. Baruch Hashem. Okay, good morning, everybody. We have to remember that we are the servants of Hashem. That's the song, Baruch Hashem. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. And Bezat Hashem, we're going to have some Torah studying here today. Not before we have to thank Hashem, of course, that we're here, happy and healthy. And we have to thank you very, very much for all your support, for all your kind words and kind things that you do. Baruch Hashem, everything is counted in heaven, and we're going to be rewarded for that. Bezat Hashem. And of course, we cannot forget the technician. All right, Baruch Hashem. All right, remember, we have a couple of things, a few days, important days that's going to, it's worth to mention. Tomorrow, many of you don't know about it because he didn't live at the time in that place and then the thing that happened. It calls Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day. What does it mean, Jerusalem Day? Well, I was there and I remember, and it is so important. It was in 1967. There was a major war in Israel, okay? I believe at the time, Israel had only 2 million citizens, Jews, and they were surrounded by 100 millions of Arabs that wanted to destroy the land. What are the chances that 2 million people, of course not all of them are soldiers, will win this kind of war? It was zero chances. So Hashem performed a major miracle that in 6 days, the Israeli army, of course, only because thanks to Hashem that He made it happen. The Israeli army, won the war in 6 days, and we redeemed, or not redeemed, we took over Jerusalem, which was to be the eastern Jerusalem that was controlled by the Jordanians. So we freed Jerusalem, the other part, the other half, and we made it to be one city, not two halves. One by, it was controlled by them, and the other half was controlled by us. So, in that day, in this war, 1967, we managed to have the city of Yerushalayim back to our hands. Many American army specialists, they say that they cannot explain this kind of war. It's impossible to explain it because it was a miracle. They said there's no way that such a small group of soldiers will take over. You should see. If you go to Israel one day, you should see, they'll take you there. If you like it or not, they'll take you to all these places that the army took over. And it was just impossible to take over. And Hashem made it happen that we won. And one of the biggest miracles is the Golan Heights. If you happen to go to the Golan Heights, you will not believe. It is something impossible. Even to the American army, together with the Russian and the Chinese, they wouldn't be able to conquer it. It's only with a Hashem miracle. That's the only way. It's impossible. Anyway, you have to see it to believe it. So this is a very important day in the Jewish history, especially in Israel. And we celebrate this day to thank Hashem and to show that Jerusalem is our city and our capital. Okay, this is tomorrow. This week also we have Rosh Chodesh, don't forget. It's Tuesday night, the month of Sivan, the month that we're receiving the Torah next week. So I have to remember next week we have Shavuos, and it's a beautiful holiday. Now it's a custom for men to stay overnight to do what they call Tikkun Shavuot. Women don't have to do that. Men have to, if they can, to study the special program, what to learn. You can do it at home by yourself. You can do it in the shul, but it is very important to do that. What is the idea to stay overnight on Shavuot? It's very simple. 3,330 something years ago, when Hashem wanted to give us the Torah, when he gave us the Torah, as something happened that all the people went to sleep, and instead of being excited to get the Torah, they went to sleep. So Hashem has to use all this thunders and lightning and all this noises to wake them up. So since then, we promised to Hashem that on Shavuot, we're not going to go to sleep anymore. We're going to receive the Torah again, and we study Torah the whole night. So that's just the background about, and of course, many people say you have to eat some dairy food, or dairy meal on Shavuot, whatever. Yes, you can. You don't have to, but it's customary. Why is this the whole story? Because only then when we receive the Torah, of course, now Moshe Rabbeinu had to teach them all the rules. And one of the rules is how to shecht the right way, how to kill the animals the right way, how to clean it the right way, how to salt it the right way. And they were not ready for all this. It was too much and too whatever. So they had to eat dairy instead. So that was one of the source and the reason for that. But if you cannot eat dairy in the holiday, believe me, it's okay. If you eat meat and chicken or fish, that's fine, no problem. Don't starve because of that. Okay. Baruch Hashem. Now we have we just read 2 Torah portions, and we finished the book of Leviticus yesterday. It's very important. That is the middle book. We have Genesis and Exodus from the right side, and then we have Numbers and Deuteronomy from the other side, and Leviticus in the center. This is a different story. But the last 2 portions that we just read last Shabbat, these are unbelievable, powerful 2 portions. And there are different ideas and different subjects that the Torah talks about it, but I just want to mention a few of them to show you how much Hashem loves the Jewish people and how much Hashem is so great that we cannot understand how he really runs the world. We can't, because our brain is too small for that. So when we received the Torah, Hashem was talking to us about the Shemitah. Shemitah is a sabbatical year that we have to let the land rest. After working and producing for 6 years, the land has to rest for 1 year. Now, what does it mean to rest for 1 year? Imagine you have a business, very successful business, and you run it beautifully. And then Hashem comes to you and says, listen, my friend, my son, my child, my prince, whatever, the 7th year, not only you're not working, you leave the business open and let people come and take whatever they want, and you don't have to work, and you're not going to do anything. You go for vacation. Imagine all the people then were farmers, and they have different produce. And Hashem tells them, okay, that's it. The 7th year, you go out, you don't do anything. Let the people come and take whatever they want. Excuse me, Hashem, we love you, we trust you, but the first question that people say, and it's written in the Torah, Hashem, what will we eat? I mean, come on. 1 year, no tomatoes, no onions, no watermelons, no bread. What's going on? So listen to this promise that only Hashem can give and can say and can promise the Jewish people, in front of the whole world. And if people don't see that as the mega power of Hashem, then they have a problem. So Hashem, listen, if you just follow what I tell you, I promise you that on the 6th year, before the sabbatical, you're going to have produce for 3 years in a row. You're going to have enough food that you don't have to do anything. The 6th years will produce so much food for the 6th year, for the 7th years, and for the 8th year. So when you come back on the 8th year to work the land, you will have enough food for the 8 years, and then the 8 years will produce for the 9 years. So you will have Nothing to worry about. Now listen to this. What is the idea here? First of all, to show that Hashem is the boss and He's controls the whole world. And then it's a test for us. How much we really can trust Hashem. There is not a story, but the Gemara in Tractate Sota, and it's page 48b. This man, it doesn't say details, but just to give you an idea what he's talking about. Let's say he has 10 kids and a wife, and they ate a dinner, and now after dinner they have nothing left at home. They are poor people, nothing, not even a crumb. So the poor man is asking his wife, "Excuse me, honey, what are we going to eat tomorrow?" Is this a good question that he's asking? I mean, a simple man, he's worried about his kids and his wife, and there's no food. Until he go to work, until he get the money, it's going to be 6 p.m. or something like that, 7 p.m. By the time he come back, it's a nightmare. So he's asking his wife, "Excuse me, what are we going?" You know what the Gemara says? The Gemara calls this man zero belief in Hashem. This man has no belief in Hashem. Why? I mean, it's a legitimate question. He just asked his wife, "What are we going to eat?" So listen to this beautiful answer. This man, he is 100% sure he's going to live tomorrow. Oh, no question about it. He's going to get up in the morning, happy and healthy. If he has this emunah that he's going to wake up tomorrow, how come he doesn't have emunah to have a piece of bread tomorrow? So the Gemara says, listen to this, it's an axiom. It says, whoever gives life gives food. So there's no such a thing that we're gonna wake up tomorrow, we are poor and we have nothing to eat. Don't worry, Hashem will manage to send you something. Well, I can't guarantee you steak and pizza and Chinese food, but a piece of bread with something. So not to starve, okay? So this is the idea, to have 100% belief, emunah in Hashem, that Hashem will provide. And this is the whole thing. The Jewish people have to believe in Hashem blindly, because Hashem will never forsake us. He wants us to be the chosen people forever. The only thing is that we have to follow the commandments and to do them the right way. That's what he says, because we are the chosen people, as you know, it's written everywhere, and everybody knows that, and that's why the rest of the world hate us, because we are the chosen. So if we are the chosen people, we have to really prove it by doing the right thing with the higher standards of behaving on a daily basis, not only once in a while. On a daily basis, the Jewish people must perform the right way. Because, when, God forbid, a rabbi does something wrong, the whole media, the whole world is, whoa, look at this. Why is that? When the president or when somebody does something, okay, it's in the news, but not like a rabbi. When a rabbi is, the whole world is up and down. Anyway, that's why, because we are, that's the idea. It's the whole principle here. Okay, so we know that we have to believe in Hashem, and Hashem will never forget us, because that's what He wants us to be. Then we have, this is the Torah, this is only one idea from the Torah portion of Behar. Then we had two portions back to back. The other Torah portion was Bechukotai. Bechukotai, this is something I'm telling you, if the Prime Minister and the Knesset in Israel would read this part with a little brain, there will be, I'm telling you, all the problems will disappear. No Hamas, no problem, nothing. Only prosperity and like heaven on earth. Listen to this simple promise. It's a promise from God, not from Moshe Rabbeinu, and not from Prime Minister, and not from Trump. It's from Hashem. Hashem tells us clearly, look what's going to happen to you guys if you just listen. And you can read it yourself. It's beautiful. It says here, if you will follow my decrees and observe my commandments and perform them, then I will provide you anything that you want, even peace in the land. Not only peace in the land, all the animals will run away from you, all the enemies are going to run away from you, and you're going to sleep at night with no fear, nothing at all. I'll tell you something. I tested something like that, but a little bit. It was in the late 50s in Eretz Yisrael, in the Holy Land. It was kind of, I don't know how much peace, but it was kind of quiet. And we could sleep outside with no fear, not from animals, not from terrorists, and not from anybody. You can sleep outside and nobody will touch you. Now, today, you cannot do that. For sure, somebody's going to come and do something. If not people, then some animal, whatever. So, but Hashem tells us very clearly and very simple. Listen, you are smart people. What's so complicated? What is so complicated to follow the rules, all the commandments, and in return, I'm just going to give you everything that you want. And you don't even have to work hard. People are going to do the work for you. Everything is going to be handed to you. And it says, our rabbi tells us that imagine a person has everything. Has a wife, 10 kids, all of them successful, he has money, everything is beautiful, everything is great, good health, beautiful, beautiful. However, he doesn't have peace. He doesn't have peace of mind, he doesn't have peace with himself, and he doesn't have peace with anybody, and he cannot live. So they say without peace, even you have everything, it's very hard to manage things. You need peace. That's why Hashem said, I will give you peace, so you have quiet, you can have peace of mind, and study Torah, of course, that's the whole idea, and to live your life in a nice way. So if we have this kind of promise from Hashem, and it's really, he's not asking us for too much. What's the big deal to follow the rules? Okay, eat kosher. Oh, big deal not to eat cheeseburger. What's the big deal? I don't understand. To keep Shabbat. What is so hard? And in Israel, there is it's not a war, but it's a major conflict between the secular Jews and the religious Jews since 1948 and even before. And the secular group, they continue to blame the religious that we're not doing the right thing, like obligation to the state, which is not true, but that's what they say. The little that they know, if they will read the history of the Jewish people, it can see it from Moshe Rabbeinu. All the fighters, all the army that we had during the history was built from religious people, from scholars. You take Moshe Rabbeinu, you take Joshua, you take King David, you take anybody. All the Jews, all the army, all the soldiers were religious people. And as a matter of fact, it says clearly in the Torah, when the Jews used to go out to war, the soldiers all of them were religious. And for every soldier that went to war, there was one scholar stayed behind to pray for him to come back safe. So the whole thing was consistent with the Torah. But in the modern time, they switch everything and they try to make it, the wrong picture, which is not true. However, because of the media, we know this problem. People think that they are right. And I have this kind of conflict with people that I know in Israel, not only friends, even family, that they think that the religious people are not doing the right job in Israel, which is 100% wrong. Anyway, why I'm saying all this? Because they are misinformed. They're ignorant. If all these secular people will read the Torah simply, just to read it and to understand this, they will see how much they are wrong. And it's so sad that there's so many Jews in Israel really go against the Torah because they just don't understand it, and it's very sad because we don't have anything but the Torah. The Torah is the heart, not only of the Jewish people, it's the heart of the world. Because it says, I'm sure you heard this sentence many times somewhere. In V'hagita bo yomam v'layla. It's like, we have to toil in the Torah day and night. If the Torah will not exist, and let's say for a short time, the whole world will stop to exist. So the whole world really depends on the Torah. I'll tell you a quick story. Maybe I did. I don't know if I told you that before. Anyway, there was one big rabbi, big. His name was the Vilna Gaon, the Gaon of Vilna. Big, unbelievable. He lived about 250 years ago. So, everybody knew that he's big and respectful. One day, a 16-year-old kid came to the yeshiva, and the rabbi got up from his seat, went to this kid, hugged him, and he blessed him, and he said, "Thank you very much." So, everybody was shocked. Rabbi, maybe if a king will come, we'll stand up for the king. But this is 16 years old. Well, not only you got up, you went to him and the whole thing. He said, yes, I don't know how he saw that, but I believe it happened 100%, no question about it. He said that this kid was the only one in the world that was studying Torah for about a minute that nobody did. And he saved the world, this kid. So just imagine that the whole world was standing on this minute that he was studying Torah. The point is that we don't see it. We don't, I don't know, maybe understand it so well. How is it that the whole world really is standing on the Torah? But that's how Hashem made it happen. And that's why he gave it to us. And that's why we said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we're going to do, and then we're going to read what it says in it. It's only the Jewish people, as much as they're so smart, the only time that they sign the contract before they read it. I mean, when you sign a contract, you have to read it and then sign it. But with the Torah, we took it, we said, yes, no problem, and then they sign it. Because the Torah is the truth, they cannot change it. It's 100%, whatever it says is Hashem told us. As one of them really unbelievable idea, I think we spoke about it. The Torah cannot have any mistake. Everything has to be 100% correct in the Torah. In the Torah in China, the Torah in Poland, the Torah in Israel, the Torah in America. The Torah is the same Torah. You cannot have not even one letter different. Okay? So now the Jews go to the exile for 2,000 years, right? They don't know each other. They can no contact, no telephones, no email, nothing. Okay? Now, in 1948, about 70-something years ago, they come back to Israel from all over the world. They don't know each other. They speak different languages. But you go to the synagogue, all the synagogues have the same Torah. You can go to any synagogue and read the same Torah with no mistakes, no problem. Not like other religions that they have 10, 20, 30,000 different variations of what they wrote. Why? Because this Torah was written by Hashem and there was no mistake there. Nobody can prove anything wrong in the Torah. So, and this promise that we can have 3 years of food. Who can promise this kind of this? Only Hashem can promise that. A man cannot do that, right? And there's so many other proofs and stories in the Torah that tells us that only Hashem can do what it says in it. No man. Moshe Rabbeinu is only there. He is the messenger that delivered to us into the world. And but whatever it's in the Torah is 100% correct. Nobody can deny it. And I wish and I hope that the Jewish people at large will read it one time and they will see how smart is the Torah and how Hashem really wants to give us all the best. And only if we will follow the rules. Bezrat Hashem. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Any questions?
Yeah, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
A few days ago, I had a conversation with some people, and we were discussing parenting. And we came to sort of a conclusion about how children have more affinity with the mother. And even though they have maybe respect or admiration for the father. And there was a part in chapter 27 in Bechukotai that at one part I didn't understand. That part got me really confused because, if I'm not mistaken, in the commentaries they were talking about how when a man gets older, besides his monetary value, if you will, decreases more than a woman's. So at the end, a woman's or another woman has more, I guess, value or importance than a man. And I had a problem with that. And I think the actual term is erahim. Is that correct?
What I said again?
Erahim.
I'm not familiar. Maybe I'm not hearing.
Well, yeah, monetary valuations.
In the monetary business, when it comes to a Jewish family, the woman, not like today, the woman stay aside. Let's say the husband or the father is a multi-millionaire and he died. She has to say, hold on 1 second, dear wife, hold on, dear mother, hold on, wait a second, you're not getting anything yet. Everything goes to the children. The children. If you have children, they go to the children, and they have to take care of the mother. It's their responsibility to take care of the mother. If he doesn't have children, daughters, then it goes to his brothers, and they have to take care of her. She will not be deserted, but she will not have control on the money.
Right, but in this project, I didn't really understood how do you put and with the Cohen checking people, how do they give a value, a monetary value to a person for what purpose?
The Kohen?
Yeah. When they're vowing to give, I don't know, X.
You're talking about the donation that the people have to give.
Yes,
to the Kohen, to the Beit HaMikdash. Well, it goes to the situation of the people. Rich people, of course, have to give the best that they can, which is animal. Okay. And even in the animal, there's different type of, let's say, price. A price of a cow is bigger than a lamb. Okay, so it depends how much they can afford, and if the person cannot afford this kind of animal, then he will bring a bird, not a cow or lamb, like maybe a pigeon, maybe some chickens or something, not a bird. And if somebody cannot offer a bird, cannot afford a bird, he'll bring the, what do you call it, the solid and oil, whatever he can. That's the level of the finance, or let's say the financial situation of the people. And of course the Kohen knows. The Kohen knows, and nobody can cheat him. That's for sure. So that's the level of the financial situation of the people. But then people would love to give. even if they didn't have much, they would love to give. And I saw that, and as I said not long ago, people that don't have, they always give tzedakah. They give tzedakah even if they don't have money, because they knew that is a big mitzvah and they're helping other people. So that was then. Today, I don't know. It's
Right. Right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I have a mental scotoma and I don't get things, but yeah, thank you very much. I get it.
no, you're very smart. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. So I'm really looking forward for Shavuot. It's a very nice holiday. I don't know if we're going to have a class next Sunday because it's too tight with the holiday, but we'll let you know. Bezrat Hashem b'li neder. Okay, so I would like to thank you again for all your support and all your good work, and we'll see you again. Bezrat Hashem.
Yes,
We'll let you know. All the
thank
best.
you.
Be well. Take care. Thank you.